Wir entziehen diesen Raum unsere Körper. Die Stelle der Diskutantinnen bleibt leer. Die Projektionsfläche dahinter bleibt leer. Die Videobilder bleiben aus.
The body is crucial in its presence to form a political space, to claim the streets in their politicality. The body is present to claim, to demand, to negotiate, and to interfere. The body is there to form together with other bodies a multitude of political subjects. If we see politics as a part of life, we have to see the body behind the demands and ideas. This body, in its presence, is a target of violence. It risks to be beaten, arrested, tortured, shot dead. The body has to be present to stand against this threat. It has to act.
هذا عصر الحركة.
This is the era of mobility.
حركة المواد الطبيعية المسلوبة.
The mobility of raw materials.
حركة المعلومة الملغومة.
The mobility of mind informations.
حركة البضائع المسمومة.
The mobility of consumerist products.
حركة الأوامر والتعاليم مرئية ومكتوبة.
The mobility of slogans, visual or written.
تم منع أحد أعضاء أهل الكاف من السفر إذ قوبل طلب التأشيرة بالرفض.
One member of the movement, Kahf, was forbidden to move to Vienna. His visa request was refused.
When we decided to somehow take part in the event of an international meeting in Tunis, it took us 1 day to decide, 1 day to ask for financial support, 1 day to buy the ticket, and 4 days later, we found ourselves standing outside the airport of Tunis, the capital of Tunisia.
Mobility for whom? When the European community is speaking about improved mobility, it refers either to Class A citizens, which are mostly white middle-class citizens with European passport in their pockets, or it refers to goods, which for global capitalism have no borders and not documents needed. We are urged to take action by the absence of our colleague and the absent freedom of movement for all those people who want to migrate to whatever country for whatever reason. We are confronted with the forced legal criminalization of migrants created by the very concept of citizenship, the laws, and the national and the supranational structures. There cannot be any reasonable argument to legitimize this anymore.
It is now 1 year ago when the media displayed for the first time the pictures of the streets from Kasserine, Sidi Bouzid, Tunis. Streets full of demonstrants demanding the end of Ben Ali's brutal regime, which they had to bear over the last decades. Pictures that were reduced to their visuality. Pictures displayed in the common way for mainstream media and Western journalism, lacking reflection, discursivity. In the beginning of the uprisings in Tunisia, not much was reported, as no one in the West expected that this would lead to a political change. Only after Ben Ali fled the country, Western politicians and media rushed to solidarize with the revolutionaries and easily exchanged their vocabulary when referring to Ben Ali from president to dictator. And as easy as that, it was forgotten that this former president was one of the biggest allies with Europe in making Tunisia a safe place for tourists and Europe a safe place by preventing migration flows coming via the short way through the Mediterranean.
Jetzt ist Demokratie, Wahlen und sowas. Und wir können wieder auf Urlaub fahren. In Tunesien zumindest. Und in Ägypten vielleicht, ja auch. Und in Bahrain wird Facebook von Staat benutzt, um Leute auszuforschen, die an den Protesten beteiligt waren, und um sie dann ins Gefängnis zu bringen. 5 Jahre, 10 Jahre, lebenslänglich. So ist das mit dem Facebook. So ist das auch. Und in Tunesien jetzt Wahlen und Demokratie und so.
The vocabulary of support for a democratic change in the Arab world took over, and Europe especially, in the usual way of supremacist ideology, tried to position himself once more as the enlightener, as the one that is here to save you and to show you the way to the full integration to the global system of neoliberal capitalist democracy. And parallel to this, fortifying the borders, increasing the control of migration.
Ich sah Österreich im Fernseher. Ich war verliebt in diesem Land. Und überlege ich, die Hauptstadt von diesem wunderschönen EU-Staat zu besuchen, wo sehr viel Geschichte, sehr viele Menschenrechte großgeschrieben werden. Nun, für die Reise brauche ich ein Visa. Und für ein Visa braucht man Geld, was ich zu der Zeit nicht hatte. Okay, dachte ich, dann gehe ich doch diesen Sommer arbeiten, um mir das zu finanzieren. Geld, Geld, Geld. Arbeit, Arbeit, Arbeit. Das erledigt, kümmere ich mich um ein Visa. Das Visa. Für ein Visa brauche ich Geld und Papiere, 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 diese blöden Papiere. Übersetzen, begläubigen von innen, außen und noch so manch andere Ministerien. Das erledigt, lege ich das hart ersparte Geld wieder bei der Botschaft ab mit den blöden Papieren. Jetzt beginnt das Warten. Warten, das bedeutet Stress, Stress, Stress und wieder Stress. Ich dachte mir, warum tut man mir das an? Hat nicht dieser europäische Staat in Human Rights eingewilligt? Ja, natürlich. Aha. Das hieße ja, dass ich mich frei bewegen kann auf unserem Planeten Erde. Dass ich frei entscheiden kann, wo ich arbeite oder auch bleibe. Warum muss ich dann das Geld, die Papiere und noch andere Sachen einer Botschaft vorzeigen und darum zu betteln, dass sie einwilligen?
Paper issued by the European Commission on May 4th, 2011, title, On Migration, quote, "The events in the southern Mediterranean bring hope for a better life for millions of people in our neighborhood, as well as for the greater respect of human rights, pluralism, the rule of law, and social justice." Quote, "The control of the EU's external border must be continuously improved to respond to new migration and security challenges. Recent events have shown how quickly a section of the external border considered as low risk can quickly become subject to critical migratory pressure. Organized crime is responsible for trafficking human beings or facilitating irregular migration, and it constantly adapts its methods and routes. At the same time, the overall trend is for travel flows to increase and for people to expect fast and easy border crossings.
إنه زمن البول فوق المناضد والبرلمانات والوزراء والسفارات.
It's time to piss on the podiums, parliaments, ministers and embassies.
أهل الكهف ليست تونسية ولا مصرية ولا عربية ولا من أي جنسية. هي وباء ينتشر عبر العدوى.
The Kahf movement is not Tunisian or Egyptian or Arabic or from any nationality. It is an epidemic that spreads by contamination.
هذا عصر الأمن.
This is the era of security.
الأمن في الغذاء.
Security in nutrition.
الأمن في الدواء.
Security in medicine.
الأمن في الاستشفاء.
Security in healing.
الأمن في الصلاة.
Security in prayer.
الأمن في النيك في البورنوغرافيا في الاستمناء.
Security in fornication, in porn, in masturbation.
الأمن في التلفزيون. الأمن في ثقب الدبر والفم والأذن والأنف والعيون.
Security in television, security in the asshole, in the mouth hole, in the ear hole, in the nose hole and the eyes.
لقد صرنا ماكينات آمنة مطمئنة.
We have become secured and quiet machines.
حين تركب التاكسي لتلتحق بالثورة، لماذا تنسى دائما أن تدعو السائق؟
When you take a taxi to the revolution on the eve, why don't you invite the driver to go down with you in the street?
تم منع أحد أعضاء أهل الكهف من السفر، إذ قوبل طلب التأشيرة بالرفض.
One member of the movement Kahf was forbidden to move to Vienna. His visa request was refused.
Nun habe ich gewartet, gewartet und gewartet. Und nach 2 endlos lang erscheinenden Wochen gibt man mir in der Botschaft ein Blatt Papier, in dem alles auf Deutsch steht. Aha. Nun frage ich mich, was da steht. Als Antwort vom netten Botschafter erhalte ich gerade mal diesen beschissenen Satz. Wenn du kein Deutsch kannst, dann lern es doch. Bücher gibt es ja genug. Na bumm, das ist ja eine Freundlichkeit. So frage ich meine österreichische Bekannte, was dies hieße. Als Antwort sagte sie mir, dass der Wunsch meiner Rückkehr in mein beliebten Land nicht garantiert sei und dass ich den Einkommensnachweis meiner Eltern benötige, um das beliebte Land Österreich betreten zu dürfen. Fuck. Das heißt, dass ich den ganzen Sommer umsonst gearbeitet habe. Das gibt's doch nicht. Für was brauche ich einen beschissenen Einkommensnachweis meiner Eltern, wenn ich als freier Mensch allein nach Österreich möchte? Zurück zum Thema Garantie der Rückkehr. Welche Garantie habe ich denn morgen noch zu leben? Wenn man sich umschaut, versinkt man ja in Sorgen und man erstickt am Dreck. Was mir hier übrig bleibt, ist zu sagen, Shit, Scheiße, Gacke, Chra zu dieser Geschichte. Oida, ich will ja nur das Land kennenlernen und es nicht plündern. Im Gegenteil, ich werde ja dort auch Geld lassen und somit ihre Wirtschaft ankurbeln. Ich werde wohl noch mich frei auf diesem Planeten Erde bewegen können.
When after months of bureaucratic tortures, you come to the next appointment at the Austrian embassy in Tunis, and you get a visa refusal, no explanations, a German written paper, and a word-of-mouth statement such as, if you want to know what is written in the paper, go on Google Translate. This is humiliation and racism. When the reasons of your refusal are, first, to not have shown sufficient means of economic sustainability for your daily life, and second, the impossibility to verify your wish to come back to your homeland, then we are thrown in the perverse circularity of a broken and even more exploitative capitalistic system that had made our existence completely dependent from it and precarious.
If we read in the Western news about Tunisia now, the Tunisian revolution, its history, seems already normalized. The shock and surprise vaporized. The common sense is that Tunisia is trying to build a democracy, and in this way there is no question on the meaning of democracy. Easily, it seems, even the protests that are partly anti-capitalist protests can be absorbed and integrated in the consumptionist circle generating surplus. Occupy Wall Street and the Spanish Democracia Real movement and all other protests that happened in the past year are said to be generated by the same unemployed, highly educated youth as the protests in the Arab space. Young, middle class, with no future. Schon die Uni-Proteste haben vor einigen Jahren den glorreichen Demospruch hervorgebracht. Wessen Zukunft? Unsere Zukunft. And what does this future mean for a person born in Austria, a person born in Spain, a person born in the States, a person born in Tunisia, a person born in Syria? What is this lost future? It is not a lost future that we mourn, but we fight against a system that is called democracy, that we would rather call capitalist, white supremacist parliamentary democracy, that is systematically criminalizing, alienating, managing people, advertising liberalism. We fight together for freedom that is not a liberal illusion, but we mean it. Freedom of movement for all, freedom of working together, freedom of self-organization, and freedom of thinking further.
Channeled through the media, the uprisings in the Arab world took a connotation of inspiration, for all other fights and revolutionary spirit caught fire all over the globe. The Times magazine named the person of the year 2011 the protester, claiming a common history between all the struggles. It is easy to fall into a general excitement. We can get nice pictures of masses, of individuals. Everything seems possible, and the marketing advertisement industry catches up with a new trend, being a protester. The person of the year is having a new appeal, a freshness, a rockstar attitude.
So often have I stood watching the crowds of people passing before me, rallying for their causes, their beliefs, sometimes for causes I relate to, sometimes for causes that relate to me. But yet, here I stand, time and time again, from the sidelines away from the public eye, simply by ways of eliminating my physicality, this visibility often so pronounced, just from my very being, but then a luxury, perhaps a choice, not so many of my peers could even decide on, by the mere lack of opportunity. To unfulfill my role as the communal other, the role bestowed upon me and my migrant peers by this city, this country, even before my very entry, barriers that define me, differentiate me, marginalize me.
تم منع أحد أعضاء أهل الكاف من السفر إلى فيينا إذ قوبل طلب التأشيرة بالرفض.
Ein Mitglied vom Kahf wurde verboten, nach Wien zu kommen, da sein Visum abgelehnt wurde.
Your body is not needed here, not even your labor force. The capitalist suckers make much more profit to come to your land, to buy your land, to pollute your land, and finally to exploit you directly at home. Watch out, our blood is infected. We spread the disease of resistance. We are urged to take action even more when Fortress Europe barricades its doors after endless bloody invasions, enslavements, robberies, and killings in the name of civilization, democracy, and Christian values.
For fear of reasons that this country could decide, at a moment's whim, to end the years that I have spent, if I make this decision to fight. So here I stand within these walls of bureaucracy, these very walls that allowed me in, to watch you as you pass by before me.
الثورة تنتقل عبر العدوى. اخرج للشارع وقبل أول من يعترضك من فمه. إن لم يكن شرطيا أو بيروقراطيا أو صرصور فهو ثوري.
The revolution moves by contagion. Get out in the street and kiss the first person in the mouth. If he is not a police officer or a bureaucrat or a cockroach, then he's a revolutionary.
الثورة ليست عرضا يبث على شاشاتكم. إنها كرنفال يومي في شوارعكم. ما أقول إنها تراجيديا جماعية نصارع فيها كل عصر آلهة العصر.
The revolution is not a show broadcast on your TV screens. It is a permanent carnival in your streets. What am I saying? It is a collective strategy which we fight at every era, the God specific to this era.
ثمة هدف لكن ليس ثمة طريق.
There is a purpose, but there is no way.
حركة أهل الكهف هي مجموعة من الشبكات الإرهابية تمارس وتنشر الإرهاب الاستيقي.
The movement Ahl al-Kahf is an amount of terrorist networks who practice and preach aesthetic terrorism.
الثورة لا تنتمي لوطن، إنها بنفسها موطن القصيد، هنا والآن.
The revolution does not belong to any country. It is itself a country, the country of poetry, here and now.
تم منع أحد أعضاء أهل الكهف من السفر، إذ قوبل طلب التأشيرة بالرفض.
One member of the movement Ahl al-Kahf was forbidden to move to Vienna. His visa request was refused.
We are here to disrupt the artificial barriers that still exist between art and life, actor and spectator, subject and object. How can art still be conceived as a space for abstraction from reality, an empty tool for individual career, a mere product to be consumed and a passively medium for free oneself? And what about the capitalist appropriation of those artistic practices that reflects critically and politically the concept and social function of art and depict reality as such? When, on the art institutional level, also the most critical exhibition circulate in a safe place for the same community of pseudo-intellectual elite, when international people are invited for the sake of exotic representation only, art becomes an end to itself. Art is not a pure entity, neutral and untouched from structures of domination and oppression. It is rather like every sphere of our life contaminated from the ideological and repressive power which wants to enslave us, alienate us, separate us, and nonetheless wants us dead or overproductive. When your visa to come to Europe to take part to an art project supported by an institution of art as the Academy of Fine Arts in Vienna is refused, then the art bubble explodes and you brutally face how mechanisms of exclusions are continuously reproduced. Intervene, agitate, hand the system, now and here.
وظيفة الفن ليست التواصل بل نقل عدوى.
Die Rolle der Kunst ist nicht zu kommunizieren, sondern zu kontaminieren.
أوروبا اليوم ترفض التأشيرة لإيزيدور إيزو، إلياس صنبر، غيراسيم لوكا، تريستون زارا، مصطفى الخياطي.
Heute hat Europa das Visa für Isidor Isu, Ilyas Sanbar, Gerasim Luka, Tristan Zura und Mustafa Khayati abgelehnt.
أوروبا أوصدت أحصنة قلاعها. أوروبا صارت إمبراطورية الأمن.
Europa hat die Tore geschlossen. Europa ist zu dem Sicherheitsempire geworden.
And why the images from Lampedusa took so long to reach us? Why just when the situation came to be unbearable, when the Mediterranean Sea became the cemetery for hundreds? Again, it is the very concept of detention centers to isolate refugees, to cut them up from the rest of the world, to make them invisible, to make them unable to organize themselves.
Tunisian migrants occupy a building in Paris after the traditional demonstration of May 1st. One banner carried at the demonstration read, "No police nor charity, a place to organize," signed by the Tunisians from Lampedusa to Paris.
أهل الكهف هي صيغة الحزن العنيفة، لذلك جاءت ساخرة.
Ahl Kahf is the violent formula of grief, and that's why it's so cynical.
الثورة آلة شوق متنقلة، لإيقافها يكفي أن تضغط على زر انتخاب أو في حالات الخطر اضغط على زر الهوية.
The revolution is a desiring machine deteriorized. To stop its operation, simply click on elections. In case of danger, click identity.
الثورة تموت حين تسكن شاشة التلفزيون، لأنها تتحول من واقع إلى صورة.
The revolution dies when it's broadcast on television screens, because it ceases to be reality and becomes an image.
حين توزع الثورة على موائدكم، ضعوا منديلا كبيرا تحت المائدة كي لا تضيعوا فتاتها.
When distributing the revolution in banquets, be sure to put a large sheet under the table so as not to miss a crumb.
نيكولا ساركوزي مدعو إلى تونس للاحتفال بعيد ميلاد الثورة. الجماهير مدعوة لمواصلة الثورة.
Nicolas Sarkozy is invited to Tunisia to celebrate the first anniversary of the revolution. Multitudes are invited to continue the revolution.
هذا عهد الأرانب.
This is the era of rabbits.
By establishing a collaboration, we aim to build an alternative to the usual one-way communication, journalism, and voyeurism. We try to understand the difference of our positions that is nevertheless a result of the differences of spaces we inhabit. This is the basis to be able to fight together. For us, this is a way to work against the capitalist system that is penetrating our lives and bodies. Like in occupations, assemblies, self-organized emancipatory movements, we want to fight against the normality of deprivation, abandonment, isolation, and the management of life and death.
Warum also nicht eine Skype-Konferenz? Warum nicht eine Live-Schaltung in Echtzeit? Über alle Grenzen hinweg. Eine virtuelle Erscheinung projiziert in Lebensgröße. Warum nicht, wie Millionen migrantische ArbeiterInnen, Kontakt über Skype zu den Kindern haben und Präsenz suggerieren? Warum nicht den Schein wahren, dass alles möglich ist und sowieso alle den gleichen Raum teilen können? Warum nicht glauben, dass wir alle Menschen sind, auch wenn eine Begegnung nicht möglich ist? Warum nicht den Glauben an die liberale, globale eine Welt aufrechterhalten? Warum nicht Business as usual, the show must go on und so weiter? Wie ein trotziges Kind? Nein, wie die Scheißrealität.
بينك وبين أرض نشأتك حبل الولادة والثورة أن تقطعه.
Between you and your native land, there is an umbilical cord, and the revolution is to cut it.
أهل الكهف ليست أشخاص، هي جيل.
Ahal Kahf is not an amount of people, it is a generation.
سيخرجون عراة من التعريف، آبقين عن التوريد.
They will emerge multiple, anonymous, imperceptible, and elusive.
وسيخرجون من الخراب، وسيخرجون زغاريد.
They will emerge from debris and emerge as a ritornello.
وسيخرجون زحف شعب طريد.
They will emerge a march of a people exteriorized.
أنبياؤها مشيون من عصر جديد.
Marginal prophets from a new era.
أغاني عبيد.
Songs of slaves.
وسيهزمون.
They will lose.
ويهزمون.
After the lose.
ثم يهزمون ثم ينتصرون.
They will lose again after they will vanquish.
ثم يرفعون ذلك العلم الكوني الملعون.
Then they raise and demand the universal flag.
عاشت بلاد القصيد.
The flag of the country of poetry.